All right, guys. Today is October 1st, 2024. I am in a spot directly west of the campsite at Westside, out on a little spur, and it was a little bit of work to get out here. I'm not going to try and make it out here like where that pine tree is. And I've got a pretty good drop off right over here. Yeah, the rock is real unstable and not safe, and so this is all the farther I'm going. But to give you an idea, the altitude drop that I've made to get out to where I am so far, where camp is about the same altitude as what that is right there, but directly back behind me into the sun. So come over here. I'm gonna get me a spot to sit down. That'll probably work right there. But just give you an idea. It's this is Canyonlands. Oh, alrighty. Try and keep that sun directly behind me. So here I is. Gonna talk about last night, and then I'm probably gonna spend a couple of minutes and talk about just a couple things from the last trip. But so on, here, let me swing. So last night I'm sitting out, and it's kind of like the night before. Got twinkle lights, and can definitely see movement. And then it was completely surrounded by. I'm just going to call it an energy wave. It's like it's a distortion, but it's like it completely surrounded me. But definitely had several there. Weren't real talkative, I think Harad was there. I'm confident Harad was there. Didn't really get, not even. No, I did get a little hello tingle way earlier in the evening, before the sun went down. But it was just, it's like they're just sitting and watching. They don't interact near as much here as they do, say, at Squatch Camp or Hilltop or Crazy Town, Coyote Camp. They operate just a little differently here, and I've stated that before, that different family groups, just like we do, they do things just a little differently. So I'm trying to learn their ways here. But what got interesting is last night, it was about, I don't know, 9 o'clock. I went to bed. Had been up since about 4 o'clock, 4:30, and was fairly tired. And so about 9 o'clock, went to bed last night. And I laid down and I really couldn't get to sleep. And being I got phone service here, I started scrolling through Facebook, and just trying to get myself to relax enough to go to sleep. And I hear somebody at the back of my truck, and I've got just under a dozen eggs sitting just inside the tailgate. I have my own chickens. They're unwashed, never been refrigerated, so they're fine to sit out for a little while. But so I had those sitting out, and I heard something over in that area, and I'm thinking, oh great, they're going to take my eggs. And then whoever it was walked over to my tent and was walking around the tent. and I got a really, really, really good zap. Best zap I've had at Westside. Um, it uh, it was very pronounced. It was a new signature, um, and I'm guessing it was Sherry. I can't be confident about it, but it kind of had a feminine kind of feel to the zap, which, that doesn't even make sense. But if you're out here, doing what I'm doing, and with all these different individuals, and start recognizing differences. Um, I could be completely off the mark, but that's just what I feel inside. But so I'll say it was her, um, and she just spent a little time walking around the tent, and I could hear her messing with. I had my little table just right outside my tent. It's got my coffee pot on it, and water bottle, big water jug, 5-gallon water jug, and just some little stuff like that. And I could hear the bags moving around. I could hear individual items getting picked up and set back down. Yeah, and I just sat there and listened, and did a couple of clicks. I got a click back. Um, and then next thing I know, I'm asleep. I slept like a rock last night. It was wonderful. It was beautiful. Um, and then when I got up this morning, once again, about 4 o'clock, because I had to pee, and I heard footsteps walk away from the tent. I'm like, okay. Did what I had to do, laid back down in the cot, went back to sleep for probably 45 minutes, and got up and just kind of laid there and listened, and was thinking about some stuff. And it's just been a beautiful, beautiful day. Uh, it's absolutely drop dead gorgeous out here. Probably going to get about 83, 84 degrees today. Not cold at all last night. Probably about 54 degrees. It's just perfect to be out here. So I did my opening video at Hilltop, and it was just a different trip. So I'm just going to say that up front. It was different. Not going to get into a lot of the stuff from the trip, but at one point, I had, because I had my wife out there, and she had some appointments and stuff that she had to deal with, and so I took her home and took a load of firewood home, and spent the night at the house, and came back out the next day, and Chuck and I were having our conversations, and well, that night, the activity was just a little different. It was off, and one of the it was almost a communication, but it was more of a feeling that Aiden was upset about something, and I had no idea what it was, or that she wasn't doing well, and wasn't sure what it was, and was a little concerned because Aiden gone, Indy, her mate, he passed a few years ago, and so I was deeply concerned about that, and Chuck left the next, didn't have a whole lot going on after that, but that I'm going to talk about, but had just absolutely went blank. Oh yeah, so the next morning Chuck left, and Wayne came back in, and Robbie was still out there with his wife and a couple of their friends, and so there's just all kinds of stuff going on, and that next night with Wayne, a couple of things that I will tell you about. had walked out to the gift stump. Wayne was back by the fire with a friend of his that he had brought out, and a couple of her grandchild and grandchild's significant other, and so I went over to go sit down where we normally sit out, and I just got this drive to walk out to the gift stump, and so I went out there, and there was definitely somebody off to my right hand side between me and the meadow, and so I'm talking to whoever it is, and doing a couple of clicks, and got a couple of clicks back, and was just feeling a better energy than the night before, and it just really positive. And so I kind of had turned around to walk back, and I see Wayne in the middle of the road, and it kind of startles him because he thought he was looking at me off to the right. Well, he was seeing the individual I was talking to, and he thought that was me until I come walking up, and it kind of startled him. So that was a little funny, but and I looked at him. I said, "Let's go back out there." And so we turned around and went back to go towards the gift stump, and we got about halfway to the gift stump, and I got power zapped, and I mean power zapped, dropped to my knees, and and onto my forearms, and Wayne's like, "Are you all right? Are you all right?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine. Just let me be for a minute." And it's not a bad thing. It you just have to experience it, and I'm sure it would just terrify most people, but there's no harm to it. It's just her commanding presence, and there's she's the only one that still does that to me. Indy had done it to me a couple of times, but I immediately knew who it was, and so I was talking with her, and was kind of concerned about a few things, and I asked her if she was upset with me, or if they were upset with me, and I got 4 words: "You are in family." And I got back up and started to walk, and to continue on over towards the gift stump, and I got hit again, but this time, it was her saying, "We loved Jasmine. We are sorry for your loss, and we feel your grief." And Jasmine was my little mint pin that I put down, I don't know, 7 weeks ago, something like that. Had her for 14 years. And not since Indy passed have I felt anything like this. And I got nailed with everybody that was there. Everybody, I don't know how many were around, but I got hit with all of their grief that they were feeling. And guys, I dropped, bent over. I'm crying like a little girl. It was just a massive emotional dump, and it was a release that I needed because because I never. Here we go again. I never really went through that grieving process, a lot of times, because I've had so much death in my life, that I just kind of just shove it away from me, and cherish the memories and the love, and all that good stuff. But I don't deal with the emotions a lot, and that's what she did, and she helped me deal with all those emotions, and it was just powerful. It was extremely powerful, And I stood up, and and Wayne's got a hold of me. He's holding me by my shoulder and a hand on my back, and giving me brotherly love and comfort as well, because that's what we do. And I go, she's standing right there. Now I talked to Wayne, and he never saw her, but I could see her clear as day. She was at best 20 feet away from me. I'm going to say 15 feet away from me. Every bit of 11 feet tall. It's dark out, so I can't see facial features or anything like that. But can see the long hair and just the structure of the body. And she was standing right there, and all I felt was love and compassion. And it was just an incredible moment. I'm grateful for the relationship that I have with them, and and it's, I've put a lot of work into this, a lot of time. I'm 12,000 plus hours out in the wilderness, doing what I do. And I just don't ever want anything to risk that. Because it's such a beautiful thing. And I'm grateful to have the opportunities to be able to come out here and share time with them. It's just awesome. But anyway, I'm coming up. I'm at 17 minutes now, and I got to get back for breakfast, and it's going to take me probably a half hour to get back up to the camp. Because it was a struggle to get out of here. Maybe what I'll do is I'll take you on a walk out of here for a little bit. Till we get up around the 20-minute mark, just so you can see a little bit of what's going on. And so please forgive me if the camera's pointing at the ground or pointing at the sky or something like that, because it is pretty intense in here. So let me get up on my feet and get stabilized. I got a lot of manzanita to go through, and so this is a dead manzanita right here, and this stuff is really hard but brittle, and it's very difficult to walk through. I mean, you can see what a tangled mess this is. Well, there's kind of like almost a path that comes out here, so it's not like walking through the center of this stuff, but it does get just a little on the tricky side. So here we go. And I just gotta make sure footings are good and rocks are stable, because I don't want to go that way. Okay. Look at this. I didn't even notice that when I walked in here. Now, I'm not going to say nobody's ever been out here and that it's not possible that somebody has done that. But usually when I get out in places like this, I see signs of people. I'll see a bottle cap or water bottle or cigarette butt. See some sign of human activity. Paul had left a heart rock over up on the hill last trip, and now I find a heart rock here. Coincidence? I don't know. That is just awesome. I'm gonna have to bring the guys out here. They got to see that. Save that for another trip. Oh. Give you a little better view down the canyon this side. And yeah, so this is where I'm going. Straight around through here and back down through all that manzanita, and then back up the hill and up the hill and up the hill. But let's do this. See, you get out here and you got a big stone like that and it looks nice and stable, but that's why I try and stay away from those edges, because you just never know. All right, we're at 21 minutes. I'm gonna sign out, guys. As always, I love each and every one of you. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. Please, 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 please pay attention to your surroundings. Stay safe. As always, peace out.